All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.S.R. GonzoSportsRoom, Friday, March 17th, 2023. Been a crazy day in sports. Got the March Madness going on in basketball. Also got the March Madness going on in college wrestling, nationals, NBA, World Baseball Classic. NCAA tournament got off to a bang yesterday with number 4 getting out and the number 2 getting put out. And then today was pretty much going chalk until this evening. Number 1 seed Purdue lost to Fairleigh Dickinson, who was a play-in team. I think a lot of people forget they were a play-in team as well. Not only
FDR, baby.
Second year in the NCAA, because they come up a division and only won 5 games last year.
Yeah, they were 5-20 last year as a team, and then
let me just say,
and not only that, 16 seeds, number 16 seeds were 1 in 150 going into the night. So this is only the second time in tournament history that a number 16 seed is being number 1 seed in the first round. And get this, we still have 2 teams in the tournament that were in playing games. Pittsburgh was in a play-in game that they've advanced, and now Fairleigh Dickinson. So we got 2 teams that are out in playing games that have made it to the round of 32.
My wife comes in and she's like, baby, I was at M Market pumping gas, and some guy said I look fly, and I'm like,
I'm looking fly.
I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. Let me just say, Purdue. What the hell are you thinking? It's FDR. Some Dickinson college I ain't never even dealt with or heard of comes in and takes your ass to the cleaners. That's like, Gonzo, what the hell? Like, what the hell? And I don't care what anybody says. If Frankie C tells you that he chose FDR over Purdue, he's a fucking liar.
Oh, I agree. Well, what happened was they done a good job of putting pressure on the ball and making it as difficult as they could to get the ball down low to Edey. And then when Edey did get the ball, there would be 2 or 3 guys on them, and Purdue couldn't hit the threes. That team basically dared them to shoot the 3 ball and say, hey, if you can hit your threes, you'll beat us. But they couldn't hit the threes. And then Purdue went on like a 5 or 6 minute scoring drought in the second half. You can't do that in tournament.
Well, if you're a team that lives and dies by the 3, you're going to have games like that. You're going to have games where, you don't perform exactly at your top best every night out when you live and die by the 3.
Get this. Matt Painter, Purdue's coach, has now lost 3 times in the NCAA tournament to a 13th seed or higher. This is his third.
So the time for Purdue to move on from him.
Yeah, that's what.
And find somebody that can get them deeper in the playoffs.
I asked Chris earlier. Chris said he thought maybe another year.
I think they'll give him one more season because I think they're going to be even a better team next year than they were this year. They're not losing hardly anything. They had 2. Edey's back. They had 2.
Does he come back?
Oh yeah, he comes back. I don't see him going to the NBA.
Well, I seen a guy that we both know. I won't even say his name. Said that Edey is a superstar and should go to the NBA right now. And I'm like, I don't know what he's watching. He's not quick enough. I don't think Edey. Maybe a bench player. Maybe
he looks a lot better this year than he did last year.
Yes,
he needs to stay another year, develop some more before he tries to go to the NBA. In my opinion,
I agree.
I think they give Painter one more year because you have Edey back. You have 2 guards this year that scored a lot of points for you that were freshmen.
Yep.
So you're probably going to be a better team next year. So I think they're going to give Painter one more year. But if he don't make a deep tournament run next year, I could see him being gone because the last 2 years he was a number 2 seed. And hasn't been able to get past the Sweet 16, and then now you're number 1 seed, you get beat first round. I think they'll give them one more year, but if they don't perform next year in the tournament, I can see them maybe moving on. They've been there a long time.
Well, that's the thing, man. There's a lot. Like for example, Alabama clearly is still unbeatable. But I got them going all the way to the Final Four. Some people say they get beat in the finals, that they don't make it to the finals. What does your bracket look like? Do you have them making it to the final championship game?
I don't think anybody's unbeatable. I think there's just too much parity. I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite coming in.
Yeah, I had Alabama in my Final Four. What worries me about Alabama right now is the injury to Miller.
And I saw when it comes to Houston said that Sasser said he's 100% going to play in the game against Auburn, and that kind of worries me because I'm like, man, I don't know, man. If you're gonna play him against Auburn, at least limit his minutes. Don't put that man out there trying to put the whole weight of the world on his shoulders. That's what you got Walker for. Put the weight of the world on Walker's shoulders. He's supposed to be quote unquote a possible lottery pick. Well, if he's a lottery pick, put some of the weight on his shoulders and let's see what this dude's got.
Yeah, I don't see what. To me, if you play him, there wasn't no reason to take him out of the game the other day and set him out because he didn't improve that much in one day. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Oh no, I understand what you're saying.
A growing or a hamstring injury, them things take time to heal, and they're easy to re-aggravate.
And that's what I'm saying. So if you really are going to play Sasser versus Auburn, which I'm telling you, I highly discourage, but if they feel like they have no other option because of Shedd's condition, then either A, you're going to have to play really good zone defense and hide him, or B, you're going to limit his minutes. I really kind of go with option B. I think you limit his minutes just to preserve him.
And see, that's what worries me about Alabama, because with that Miller having an injury now, I mean that could affect them. I think there's a lot of teams that could win this tournament. It's going to be crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, I still feel like Baylor has a chance to shoot up in this tournament. They've been kind of quiet, but I feel like they're playing good basketball right now. Momentum is on their side. I forgot the team that they played, but I know they won by almost 20 points. I mean, they went out there and handled business. So I like to not look past Baylor. I really had Purdue in this thing, and Purdue really stunk up the bed. So
I didn't have Purdue in my Final Four.
No, but I guarantee you had them out of the first round.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know we say oh yeah, but I'm telling you, if Frankie tells you that his bracket's perfect,
yeah. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying I didn't have him going to the Final Four. I had him losing to Marquette. I had Marquette coming out in the Final Four. I had Kansas. My Final Four was Alabama, Kansas, Marquette, and the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, man, ain't no way in hell that there's a bracket that's not busted right now.
Oh, no. And I say Indiana, but and the thing about Indiana, they're a team, they're capable of making a deep run in the tournament, but they're also capable of losing the night to Kent State.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
So, I mean, they're up and down some. If they can get hot and play consistent, they can play with anybody. I mean, hell, they beat Purdue twice this season. That was a number one seed. They've had some big wins this year. They had some injuries early in the year and got a little inconsistent. Went on an inconsistency stretch, but then toward the end of the season they started playing better ball again. But right now they're letting Kent State hang around longer than what I'm comfortable with.
I don't think
we need to start pulling away a little bit.
I don't think Kent State's going away. They play Houston tough this year, and they played Gonzaga tough this year, both on the road. I don't think they're going away.
We need to get.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's going to be a lot of really good teams in this bracket, and I'll tell you, man, the number one seeds, they're fading. They're kind of fading out a little bit. I just hope that Houston can hold on to their number one spot and not relinquish it. That would really. God, Houston, come on, man. You cannot lose this shit, man. Figure it out. Let's get it going. Because really, Houston doesn't have, in my opinion, a hard road to the Final Four. their road to the Final Four, it's got its challenges, but it's not insurmountable. I mean, their road to the Final Four is looking pretty good. They just have to go out there and play ball, and they're going to have to suck up these injuries and do what Houston basketball does, which, they're going to have to go to a zone defense more. This man-to-man, let's go zone. Let's hide some of Wasser's weaknesses, and let's get the job done.
A team you got to watch out for is Texas. Texas is hot. They've smoked Kansas 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're coming to this tournament hot. So I think that's a team that you have to watch out for because they're coming into the tournament with some momentum.
Houston beat Kent State by 5, and Gonzaga beat Kent State by 7. So I mean, they're
not a bad team.
They're a good team.
Yeah. And again, hey, Gonzaga almost lost tonight. I mean, there was a couple of teams that were looking pretty close, and then of course, they came out and pulled it out. But there were some teams in there that were really, really close.
I mean, there's been some good games. Like I said, it was going pretty much chalk where a lot of your higher seeds was winning, but they were winning. I mean, a lot of them were down and came back and won. And then, like I said, then you had the big upset. So I mean, hey, it's been this tournament's got off to a great start, and I think tomorrow is going to be even. The second round is going to be even crazier because, like, you got Tennessee and Duke tomorrow. There's Arkansas plays. Damn it, who's Arkansas played? Jay, because you were picking Arkansas.
Oh no, Arkansas plays Kansas.
Yeah, Arkansas and Kansas. There's some good games tomorrow.
Yeah, that was my upset. Before the Purdue game, that was my upset.
Well, you guys think about
Purdue kind of stole the thunder on that one.
Princeton, Missouri.
I think that's going to be a real good game.
Hey, Xavier almost lost. Xavier came close to losing. They pulled it out in the end, but Xavier was looking like they were going to get their asses handed to them.
I think Princeton, Missouri is going to be a real good game, but I think Princeton beats Missouri.
I'm not saying Texas is going to lose. That Penn State's a scrappy team, man.
Oh yeah, Penn State.
That's who they play.
And the thing about Penn State, they live and die by that 3, dude. And if they get hot in the 3, you're in trouble. And they fire.
I always love it when somebody says, "I'm not saying they're going to lose, but this team is really fucking scrappy." That's like you saying, "I think that Texas is going to lose. I'm going to put this little feeler out there, but hold on. But I'm going to cover my ass." Of what I really want to say by saying I don't think Texas is going to lose. I'm just saying, Tony, listen, I invented this game. Okay, I invented the art of the team that you think you want to say, but then you go with the other team. Only when the team that you wanted to say wins, and then you can say, "Oh, remember when I told you I thought they could win?" Tony, I get it, man. You're covering bases right now. You're covering bases. And right now, hey, Tony, look, right now the bases are the size of a pizza box. So you should have no problems covering. Just don't let the pitch clock get you.
Penn State is a tough team, though.
There's no doubt about it that Penn State's a tough team. Nobody's going to doubt that. Nobody's going to doubt that Penn State's a tough team.
But a lot of the teams coming out of the Big Ten, though, they play. I mean, Big Ten's a pretty physical style of basketball. So a lot of them, they beat up on each other. The Big Ten's having a good tournament so far.
Decent.
I mean, but let's not act like Texas. Hey, but let's not act like Texas isn't a tough team. I mean, they did lose their head coach.
Texas is garbage.
Let me ask you: is Texas going to keep that coach, or what do you think is going to happen?
Well, we talked about this a little bit earlier on the Sports Happy Hour. Me and Greg did. What's your opinion on this? You think they're going to keep this coach, or you think they're going?
Yeah.
Rumor is they might be Rick Pitino.
If Rick comes available, that might be a hefty decision to make. I always say, look, if the coach got you to the damn Final Four or Elite Eight or however far they get in the playoffs, or if they get you further than Final Four, how are you going to replace him? That's like a slap in the face. So if you are going to replace them, do you release them or do you put him or you demote him back down? Because that's a hard thing to get to the Final Four if they do get to the Final Four or whatever. and then they demote you back down because Rick Pitino's available. I mean, that's gonna be a lot of awkwardness in that training room.
Well, my thing is, even if you don't get to the Final Four, look what situation he took over this team in this year with all this stuff going on with the other coach, and he was.
I mean, you got to give some of that credit to the guys, the players.
His team has actually ascended. But he took over. It's not like they went down or anything. So, I don't know. To me, you're taking a big chance. Why change the culture?
Oh, absolutely. And again, when Beard was let go, that team could have really gone by the wayside. I think it's 50-50 success rate for both. I think it's 50% that the players are just executing, picking up where they left off and continuing the mission. And then I think it's 50% on the head coach that got them in the play calling, got them back, situated, kept them on the mission and provided leadership along the way. So I think Texas' success is 50% players, but I think the other 50% goes to that coaching staff and keeping them motivated and keeping them focused on the prize at hand and not letting the Beard situation bring them down into the toilet. So you really got to give kudos to both sides of that equation. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I don't know. I think it'd be a mistake to change coaches right now. You have good chemistry going.
Let me ask you this. Hey, let me ask you a better question. Where does Coach Beard land now that he's been cleared of all this? Where's his next coach? You got to imagine he's going to have a coaching assignment somewhere. Where does he land next? Hey, no, Tony, I know you kind of said that lightheartedly, but come on. Could it possibly happen that he does land there? I know you said they want to give him another shot, but at the same time, Coach Beard's nothing to laugh at, or you know what I'm saying? So I think what you're saying, Tony, actually has a lot of weight. Honestly, I really do.
Was Beard wasn't charged? Never got charged with anything, right?
No, it was they charged him and then they released him. So they did file family domestic violence charges on him, but then ultimately those charges the DA dropped. Okay. So the charges were dropped. Yeah.
Here's my thing: are they going to try to do the Beard like they kind of did to Rick Pitino, where he went to Iona? You know what I mean? Is he going to have to go to a smaller college before he gets one?
Hey, look. If the opportunities aren't jumping out at you because maybe your reputation took a bit of a hit, then go to somebody like Iona or a smaller school. Hey, make them a winner and then earn your job back.
If Pitino leaves and goes to St. John's or Texas Tech, Texas, Georgetown, wherever he ends up, he goes to one of them schools.
Georgetown needs a coach.
He goes to one of them schools.
I think you're right. Georgetown does need a coach, and they do need to get back to the promised land.
But I'm saying if Pitino leaves to go on them schools, Iona will be open, and that wouldn't be a bad job for Beard to jump in because
I think that'd be a perfect job for Beard to jump into.
You know what I mean? Pitino has him in a good situation.
What about a team?
No, I think Gonzo, I think you're right on the money with Iona. I think that would be a great spot for Beard to come in, take over, show what he can do, show how much further he can get Iona in the playoffs. I mean, that's a great situation. And let's not look. When we go back to that Texas situation, I just want to use that for an example. I understand the clout that comes with the Rick Pitino name. I understand the clout. But also I understand when your coach has chemistry with your team and when your coach has things running in one solid direction, and that direction is winning, why are you going to give up on that just for a Rick Pitino? Just because you bring in a Rick Pitino doesn't guarantee you success. It doesn't say that Rick Pitino is the best fit for this organization. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He's just a big name.
That's exactly what it is. It's a big name. I think you got to look at all the factors. Well, I don't think that you want to
now stuff he was getting in trouble for is legal. It's legal now. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
What I was going to say.
Well, I mean that's true though. That's true.
How about a team that's in that conference with Texas that maybe didn't have a great record this year and maybe looking for a new coach going after Beard?
That's another prime thing to talk about.
If I'm Texas Tech, I'd be giving Beard a call.
Look, if I'm any school out there that is on the cusp, and even if I'm not on the cusp, if I'm any school out there that's not doing like we think we should be doing, I'm going to take a chance on a Beard, and we're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with Beard. I think Beard gets them back.
Didn't Beard used to coach Texas Tech?
I'd have to Google that, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I'm gonna check. If I remember right, he was the Texas Tech coach. I think he might have left Texas Tech when he went to Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to Google that, to be honest with you. I didn't really start picking up a Coach Beard until I seen him over there right before he got fired with Texas, and I started doing a little research on him and found a little bit more about him. But I'm not 100% sure where he came from before he landed with Texas. Tony, Factorian. Come on. Get on the computer. Let's go.
He's looking. Chris is looking.
No. Tony, you got the glasses. You know Chris ain't got no glasses. I just love that face. You cannot duplicate that face. You just can't do it.
Yeah, full boy. What?
What are you?
I'm looking at Mickey's. Why am I looking? Well, there's two things up here. You got Damien and Mickey to choose from, so that tells you a lot right there.
Oh, Lord. In one bracket, I have 4 Bulldogs, Xavier, Baylor, Tennessee. Yeah, I think Tennessee's going to get this win coming up. I think Tennessee is getting ready to be a force to reckon with as well. Hey, Gonzo, I think a lot of people are going to sleep on that Tennessee team, and I think Tennessee's going to wreak some havoc in the bracket as well.
4 Bulldogs. Tennessee's not a Bulldog.
I don't know what he's talking. I think he's talking about the 4 teams that are dogs. Xavier,
he said Bulldog.
Yeah. He's just talking about the 4 teams that he thinks are dogs in the fight.
Okay, whatever.
It's Mickey. You got to translate, Gonzo. Come on now. Let's go. Come on.
I'm trying to do some research here.
Hey, look, man. I have no problem with Steve Nash going down to the college ranks only to come back up again.
Hey, Nash gonna go Texas.
He coached. Chris Beard coached 10 seasons at Texas Tech.
Oh wow! So he's been with Texas Tech for a hot minute. That shows you how much I know or pay attention to Texas Tech.
And then he went to Texas.
You think they'd bring him back?
Wow.
Think Texas Tech would bring him back?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Why not? I try to bring him back if he'd come back. He had success there.
If I'm Chris Beard, I'm weighing my options. I'm not rushing back to anything. I'm gonna pick the right spot. I'm gonna come back. If I'm Chris Beard, that's what I'm doing. But he's gotta be better at the game than what he was doing with that domestic. Even though he didn't get charged with it, lucky on him. But he can't let that kind of stupid shit come in between.
Yeah.
What time?
But the bad thing about that is who knows what happened. You know what I mean? There might not even been much of anything. You just never know. But once it gets out there, it fucks everything up. Especially in today's society where people are just looking for somebody to cancel.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, we're all about the cancel culture these days. You know that.
Most definitely.
Damn, man. Arizona State has still got a good lead on TCU at 52 to 43.
I'm surprised the afternoon blitz show hasn't been canceled yet.
Why is that?
I can
some
name
of the shit that's been
I can name 3 names why it needs to be canceled.
Hey, dude. Actually, this week's been pretty good. This week's been pretty good. But last Friday,
last Friday,
man, that was crazy.
Who was on the show?
Me, you, Mike Hughes. Frank.
Oh, I remember that show.
Ding, ding.
I think Rob Scott was on there for a little bit.
Yeah, hey, look, you had to remind me. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a crazy episode.
Man. Yeah, that was that. Yeah. Well, anytime you get me, Mike Hughes, and Rob Scott, well, hell, anytime you just get me and Mike Hughes or me and Pride, Yeah, it's gonna go left. I don't know how long it's gonna take to go left, but it's gonna go left. And 9 times out of 10,
you really wasn't the
No,
you
you-
really wasn't the person that went left.
No.
oh, I know, which is
You
really
was
weird.
That's true.
Yeah, that was an off day
day.
for me. But as you can see, they picked it up in grand fashion.
We built it like a 7-point lead. Then we went right back into it.
That's a highlight.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we were up 35.
We're up 8 points. Calm
Okay.
down.
Like,
It's
damn it.
halftime.
I like that was
It's
only
halftime.
damn score had me confused. I like that was only by 2. I was like, what the hell?
Jay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've never wanted in my tiny of hearts for Kent State to win this game. I've never. I don't ask for much. I don't.
That'd be a rough day
When
for
I
Indiana.
ask-
How you and Purdue both
Well,
get
but,
it.
hey, but when I ask, I really want it bad.
That'd be a,
Just want to look, Gonzo. I can't have you being all happy about Indiana when I know Houston, due to injuries, may be on the brink or the cusp. So I can't have you happy. You got to be miserable just like the rest of us. And then I got to have Alabama lose, so Frankie will be in that same group of misery.
No, wait a minute. That don't make no. That ain't how it works because my teams have been getting their ass whipped for a while now. So if I have a team that's doing good,
Hey, listen. Hey, you know how you defeat a person? You don't take your foot off the throat.
Houston's winning for you. Dallas is taking the Colts players. We're getting fucked left and right.
Tony, again, when you got the foot on the throat, you never let up off of it. You keep that foot right there, firmly placed atop.
I'm not gonna lie. I was mad when I saw they shipped Gilmore to the Cowboys.
Oh, I know. I was actually stunned that Dallas made the move on it, to be honest with you. I didn't think
Gilmore played good for the Colts.
And a 5th-round pick. What the hell?
I mean, he played good. He was a big part of a lot of our
wins. Oh,
no,
he's gonna fit in really nice opposite of Trayvon Diggs. I'll tell you, that Diggs and Gilmore connection on opposite fields, that's gonna be beautiful for that defense. I'm telling you right now, man. Hey, the way that Dallas is now trending and the way that the Eagles are now trending, I'm starting to think, okay, maybe Dallas can regain the division, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say that we're going to go any further than that, but I do think that the way we're trending and the way that the Eagles are trending, that I think that we can take the division. I think we can get our division back.
That may be the biggest move you guys made this year. I mean, I think
the biggest move would be get Dalton Schultz back under contract. That would be the biggest move.
He's coming to the Colts.
Hey, how would you feel about? I mean, I don't think Dallas is going to pay whatever the dude's name is. I can never say his name right. The dude that wasn't $20 million and ain't played in a year.
OBJ.
My hope and my prayer is that Jerry's smart enough not to pay this man $20 million a year. He's not worth $20 million a year.
I've never been a fan.
He's always been your favorite player.
I think, honestly, I think where OBJ is right now in his career and in his health, I think $5 to $6 million a year is right on the money. I think 5 to 6 is what you give him because you're only going to have OBJ maybe 20 to 30% of the snaps. And he's not your number one. He's more of a decoy to help out your number one, to take some of the pressure off of your number one.
What do you think about him?
When you're a decoy, what I call a decoy, on the team, and you're only playing 20 or 30% of the snaps, which is why I think they should play him so his body doesn't wear out. 5 to 6 million is, in my opinion, is what he deserves. Now he's going to want 20, but I don't give him 20.
Yeah,
I don't give him 20.
Speaking of Thielen, I kind of hope the Colts go after Thielen. But if they don't, Thielen would be a good fit there in Dallas.
Yeah, I do too.
You got a guy like Thielen on the other.
But why do we need Thielen? We got Gallup. Honestly, we already have Thielen is a toss between a 2 and a 3. So you're either going to put him in the slot or you're going to put him as a 2. But
I think Thielen's better than Gallup right now.
I do too.
I don't know. It's too hard for me to say because I've always said, I'm going to continue to say, that the second year coming off ACL is when you see the telltale of what you're really going to be. So I'm going to give Gallup the benefit of the doubt and let him do a second year before I really make a decision on him all the way around. Because when Amari was over there, man, that dude was getting like 1,200 yards a season. You put OBJ over there and you guys CeeDee Lamb, I think Gallup could very easily go back to 1,200 yards for this season. Easily. But again, we're going to have to wait and see what the second year, post ACL tear to see what he really has in the tank. That's what we're waiting on right now. And I got to be honest with you guys. I got to be honest. I know Jerry Jones doesn't make the best decisions, but I got to imagine that people are talking to him about Gallup. And I don't think they give Gallup a new deal or a restructured deal if they don't believe in him. If they don't believe that he can be back to the old Gallup form, why not just go on ahead and make him a post-June 1 cut, put the cap back in, or put the money back in the cap and go after, whoever you want to truthfully go after with all the money you have. You know what I mean?
Jay, last year he had 70 catches for 700 yards, averaged 10.2
He
yards
did.
per catch, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, he did.
The year before that, he had 10 touchdowns and averaged almost 11 yards per catch.
Who's this?
Thielen. I mean, Thielen's he's still sound. I mean, I'm not saying he's a number one because he's not, but I think he's
Thielen. The problem with Thielen is when you got a thoroughbred over there, and then you got a semi-thoroughbred over there as your two wideouts, and then you got Thielen who's early to mid 30s. It's just going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen that he's going to lose a step, and it's going to look dramatically obvious when you're going up against the likes of a Jefferson or an Osborne. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Now, if Thielen goes over to, let's say, the Patriots, where they don't have that kind of speed or that kind of athleticism, well, Thielen's going to look like the best thing since he's going to look like DJ Moore over there in Chicago.
Even the Colts. Thielen on the Colts would be that way.
He would be like that on the Colts. Yeah, he would be. The problem is how much money is Thielen going to want, and how much money are you willing to pay? And I got to be honest with you, if I'm bringing Thielen in, I'm not going to give him the big payday that he wants. I think I give him $7 to $8 million.
You don't. Yeah, you're not going to sign him to a big deal. No.
Yeah, I think you give him $7 to $8 million, or maybe you give him $7 million with an option for $8 million in incentives. And you make it incentive laden on him. So either way, I think Thielen is still out there. The Colts are still hungry to find another wide receiver to complement, great value wide receivers that they have in Pittman Jr. and so forth. So you guys really do need that number one. You need that true number one wide receiver. And I think it would be nice to see you be able to get that in the draft, because I would hate to see you give up, draft capital and try to bring in a D-Hop. And I hate to see you bring in an OBJ when OBJ is not what you need. You need a true wide receiver one. And I think the only way you get that, honestly, Gonzo, is in the draft. I don't think it's going to be available to you free agency, given what they're going to ask for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Let me say, but right now you got what? Texans got Cooks up for trade, but nobody wants to trade for him. And then you got, D-Hop available for trade, but nobody wants to give them what they want. So it's almost like those two guys are held prisoner by their respective teams.
Hey. It happens like that sometimes.
It happened to Deion Sanders. He said, F you, I'm retiring, and he left the game and never came back. I think it happened to Megatron too, but Megatron kind of bowed out a little bit easier.
Oh, yeah. Just imagine the numbers Barry Sanders would have put up if he wouldn't have retired early.
Yeah, imagine Barry Sanders on, any number of teams, right?
He put up amazing numbers, and he done it without having an offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, imagine Barry Sanders with the Rams. I mean, imagine him with, at that time. And then I don't know what other team you would really want to match him up with. Maybe the Dolphins? I don't know. I'd have to go back in time and see what their teams looked like.
Well, just think about this. as great as the Dallas's offensive line was back then. And I know
Right.
you guys had Emmett. Emmett's great, but just think what kind of numbers Barry Sanders could have put up behind that offensive line.
I don't think it mattered because Emmett gave you the same. No, I'm saying is Emmett. What I'm saying is,
I understand what you're saying.
It would be nice, but
no, I'm just saying Barry Sanders was putting up numbers like that without offensive line. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Oh, no, I get it. I mean, if you look at it from a personal stat record for Barry, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not saying like if I'm Dallas, I wouldn't make that trade. No, I mean, I'm just saying you put him behind an offensive line like that, he's going to be scary.
Well, hell, he already was scary with that offensive line. With an offensive line, he's going to be. So. I don't know what kind of word you would give that. It wouldn't be iconic, but it already is iconic. It would be some level above iconic, and where you'd put Barry Sanders at that level.
It'd be a nightmare.
Like really,
instead of being scary, a nightmare.
Like Jim Brown, we wouldn't even have Jim Brown at running back conferences when we're talking about greatest running backs of all time. It's just going to be Barry, and I think Emmett's over there hanging out with him. Barry and Emmett, and maybe Walter Payton will tag along. You know what I'm saying?
Damien said, Jay, would you mind getting Allen Robinson since the Rams cut him?
Well, right now, Allen Robinson's been prone to be injury prone, so I'm not looking at Allen Robinson. And honestly, he didn't really do much over there with the Rams and Stafford anyway. So, I mean, I understand he's available, but I mean, if he wants to come in on a very limited deal, that's fine. But I'm not going to give him. I'm not going to give him the big payday or anything like that. I mean, It's going to be very much a prove-it deal because what you showed me in L.A. wasn't exactly impressive. So you're going to have to wow me if you want me to take a chance on you. And I don't think Robinson's going to be willing to do that. I think maybe his ego or his pride will, make him stay on the sidelines until another team, takes a shot at him. So.
No, and that's the thing. Yeah. One of the things I like about what the Colts did bringing in Minshew is they didn't overpay for him. You signed a dude to a 1 year, $3.5 million deal.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I'd rather
they got him dirt cheap.
You didn't overpay for an old guy. He's not old. You're not paying a lot for him. He'll be a good guy for if you decide to draft a rookie or whatever you do. He'd be a good guy for them to kind of help bring them along and develop them. So I like that move, and I think he's. I mean, he's shown he can win some games. I'm not saying he's a starter, full-time starter in the league, but he's shown that he can play. So I mean, I think he'll at least make us be competitive.
Well, Gonzo. Let's call it what it is. Gonzo, let's call it what it is. It's a very cheap price to pay for a very good gap field quarterback. That's what it is. I think Minshew will keep you competitive. He will put a good product on the field. You'll be happy. You'll be much happier with him this year than you were with any number of quarterbacks you had last year. And I think you do. I think you're either going to take Levis or Richardson and put them behind, and hopefully they can pick up the speed and pick up the pace of learning and take over from Minshew. Or you just say, you know what, Garner?
I don't even know.
I know you got to do like the deal, man, but maybe we tank and we take.
I don't even know if they're going to do that. I think they might take an offensive lineman with the fourth pick, or move back and take a quarterback in the early second round.
Yeah.
I can see him doing something like that, taking like a Hooker or a Dugan or somebody early in the second round, and bringing them up behind. I know Hooker's meeting with the Colts. I do know that.
I mean, Hooker has a lot of positives. Can you develop Hooker, though?
Well, I think they think their coach can because of the style of play Hooker plays and the style of play Jalen Hurts plays, being athletic, and what he done with Hurts. I think that they might believe that he can. That's why
I think you do the same thing with Richardson at a much faster pace.
Yeah, but do you want to spend a 4th round pick on Richardson? I think.
Well, okay. Again, yeah, it just depends on how you're drafting. I mean, if you're willing to move back and wait for your quarterback, then I don't know, man.
What worries me about Richardson, man, was 53% completion percentage, man. 53%.
Hooker 70%.
It's like there's a line drawn in the sand for the Colts. Right now, you're here. If you want to go from the loser side to the winner side, there's 3 different ways you can get there. Which way do you want to take? And all 3 of those ways, have their pros and have their cons, right? All 3 of them have their pros and cons. At the end of the day, though, you want to make sure you pick the best choice that come next year, you're vying for an opportunity at bringing in more top not free agents, but draft picks. I mean, it would be beautiful if you could get the number 1 and draft Caleb Williams. I don't think that's going to be in your cards. I think there's other teams out there that are worse off than you are that are going to probably wind up taking that spot from you and will probably take on Caleb Williams. That's the downside to Gardner Minshew, because Gardner Minshew will win you games. He'll win you enough games to where, when it comes to the draft, you might be middle rung. You may be drafted around 12 to 14 or 12 to 15, somewhere around there. You know what I mean?
Hey, we'll have a chance for that number 1 pick. If we start winning some games, Irsay will just fire the coach, bring in Jeff Saturday as interim coach.
Hey, look, I'm not saying that's not a possibility. I think we've seen that that's a possibility, but I don't. Do I think it's the most realistic possibility?
Irsay wouldn't fire Steichen after 1 season. Well, I ain't gonna say wouldn't. It would have to be really, really, really bad for him to. That's one thing I will say about Irsay. He usually don't fire guys like just boom, boom. So it would have to be really, really bad for Steichen not to make it at least a couple years.
Look, if Jeff Saturday can make it a whole season and Steichen doesn't, what the hell? What the hell are we smoking? Or eating?
Kent State shot 26% in the first half, but you're still only down by 8. So
we didn't shoot very good from the 3-point. Shot good inside the paint.
Yeah, TCU's down by 3 right now versus Arizona State, with 8:33 left to go in the second.
Oh, plenty of time.
Second half of IU games just now starting.
Don't get those hopes up on IU, huh?
Hey,
a little happy about it, Gonzo over there. Gonzo,
you feel a little happy? Not comfortable enough yet.
No, I never get too happy.
I've seen this team have some big leads and blow it.
That's why I don't get too happy. That's why I don't get that upset when we suck. So
Oh, Tony, I've seen you get upset.
Oh, a little bit.
It's actually very.
Well, I don't get online.
It's actually very entertaining, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but like some guys like Frankie get online when their team loses. Like today, he got online and put on Facebook, "Fuck Mexico." I don't do stuff like that.
Man, Frankie's got a temper, you know that. And Frankie's also on the weed. So remember, you got Clean Frankie, and then you got Bud Smoking Frankie. And right now, Frankie's with his friends. And when Frankie gets with his friends, Frankie's smoking Bud. And when Frankie smokes Bud, you get those kind of videos. I'm just saying. And then you wake up the next day, you're like, oh, damn.
I thought you said he was
on Facebook.
I thought you said he was smoking Bud.
Maybe that too. I don't know. I don't know how they get down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they get down.
David said, "What's your thoughts on Great Muta getting inducted to WWE Hall of Fame?"
I gotta be honest with you. I don't even know who he is.
Whoa! You got.
I know. Hey, look, guys. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I'm just trying to tell you, I really don't know who he is.
I thought you might know him just because he is older. But yeah,
he was back in NWA, WCW. Had some great feuds with Ric Flair and Sting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Gonzo, man, I got to be honest. Hey, look, when I turned 19, I got the knock at the door. Gonzo, I ain't seen wrestling since. And then I met up with you guys, and y'all start talking wrestling again. I'm like, man, I'm lost in the sauce. You know how long it's been since I've seen any of that stuff?
He used to spit out the mist.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
nice.
Hey,
I guess I'm going to have to Google some Muta and get familiar with him, because I had no idea, honestly.
To give you the update, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are together again.
Wow. Okay.
Kevin came and saved Sammy tonight. Saved Sammy tonight against the Usos, and that's going. I would assume next week they'll probably set up that tag team match. And there's rumors that it's going to probably headline night one.
At WrestleMania?
Yeah,
that segment tonight was real good.
The whole show was really good tonight.
I didn't see all of it because I had a show at 8, but
and they had Cody tied into all that, getting them back together. It was really good. It was a good segment. And then Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley had a great segment and beat the crap out of each other. It was all over that place. And it was real good.
When's the Hall of Fame? Is it going to be out there SmackDown that Friday night?
I believe so.
Wow.
So far, we got Muda and Rey Mysterio. And I think what they're going to do, Jay, is I called him Ray. I think what they're going to do, Jay, is
Ray McLovin. There we go.
Okay. I think that Rey Mysterio keeps turning down Dom. Dom keeps asking for a match at WrestleMania. Ray said, under no circumstances am I going to wrestle my son. I think.
Oh, wow.
I think they're going to wait all the way till the Hall.
So Rey Mysterio is not going to wrestle Dom.
That's what he's saying. But I think they're going to wait till the night before WrestleMania of the Hall of Fame, and I think that he's going to wreck the Hall of Fame ceremony, and that's what's going to set up the WrestleMania match.
They could.
Wow. You know, Gonzo, I know we're switching gears and left, right, up and down in this show right now, but bruh, USA plays Venezuela tomorrow at 7 p.m. Do you know how crazy that game is going to be? Like, oh my God, bro, Venezuela's top ranked. We got to knock them down a peg. USA's got to get that win. I don't think they do, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but God, man, that's going to be a tough game, Gonzo, tomorrow.
Look at him. Don't even have faith in his. Don't even have faith in his own country.
I'm trying. Look, I got all the faith in the world in the hitting side of it. It's on the pitching side that makes me a little nervous.
Jay,
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The pitcher makes me nervous.
You see that? Memphis got beat by 1 point.
Freaking A, man. Memphis got beat. Hold on, let me go back over that. Damn.
66-65. They had come back and they had tucked
the
lead.
Wow. Memphis is out. Holy crap.
So now you have FAU against FDU.
Yep. Memphis was Houston Cougars like arch nemesis, and now that they're out, oh my God. That makes it so much better.
Yeah, but now that means you get FAU against FDU, a 9 seed against a 16 seed.
Well, if FDR is any good, they're going to beat FAU. I mean, they'll beat them, right? I mean, hey, if they're really the real deal, let's go. Shit.
I tell you, they impressed me tonight.
Bro, when you beat number 1 team, yeah, there's going to be a target on your back now. And they do. They have a target. Right now, FDR has a target on their back because everybody's saying, oh, my God, they beat Purdue. Oh, my God, they beat Purdue. And they're going to have a target. And that's just the way it goes. You got to go out there and you got to perform.
He scares me when he starts dribbling down the court.
Well, I know that coach came out before the game and said that he had watched a bunch of tape on Purdue, and he said that I think we're going to beat them. Of course, I know the coach ain't supposed to come out and say, hey, we're playing Purdue, we're going to lose. But he said, I watched a lot of tape, and he said, I think we're going to beat them.
Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah, he was right.
That's just incredible that Memphis lost. Kent State, what are you waiting on? Oh, my God. 45-31, you're not doing anything.
I'm 1-1 so far in college basketball.
I don't want to talk about my picks. I looked at and one pick yet.
I think it's safe to say unless Kent State finds their Kajongis, I think Indiana's going to win that one. I think you guys are safe.
Whoa. Don't give us that kind of juju.
Oh, no. Oh, you don't like that, do you? Yeah. You don't like that, do you? Indiana, let's go.
I think
Indiana's a shit.
Juju with the New England? Yep. I think Frank's going to find out old Juju's going to go away, too. I think he's going to
Oh, yeah.
He didn't play that well for Kansas City for a big part of the year, and then he caught on at the end. But he struggled for the first 6, 7, 8 games of the year, and he don't have a great quarterback at New England.
Ooh,
So
Mac Jones, he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Maybe one of them little midget Billy Goats running around.
Hey, what do you think Rodgers is actually going to do? Do you think Rodgers is going to wait to see if they actually fulfill that whole list before he accepts it? And
he's already no, Jay. Rodgers isn't the one holding it up. He's already said he wants to play for the Jets, and
now the compensatory picks.
Yep.
What's holding it up is what the compensation Green Bay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how many picks or what picks is New York going to give Green Bay?
I've heard a number 2 pick is what I've heard.
Of course, they're going to want number 2. Of course.
Why
would they not?
No, Green Bay's wanting a first-round pick, but from what I'm hearing is the Jets it's probably going to end up being a second-round pick.
Not for Aaron Rodgers. No way.
Maybe they
freaking way.
They should talk to the coach.
I'll give up a second-round pick.
I think they should talk to the coach. Coach probably give him a 5th-round pick.
It's going to be more than just a second-round pick. It was like a second-round pick, a player, but there was no first-round pick involved, from what I'm hearing. But you got to remember, the Jets are going to be eating that big salary.
But I think he restructures, though.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's holding it up is the Packers and Jets trying to figure out work out that compensation.
Man, look, if you don't get at least 2 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers, you failed.
They're not gonna get that.
Lost on the last second shot.
What makes you say that?
They're not gonna get. They're not. Jets aren't gonna give them first 2-round picks.
You don't think so?
First-round picks. I don't think. No.
I don't think so. And Green Bay don't have a lot of leverage because I think Rodgers won't go play with Green Bay.
Oh yeah, Rodgers done said he's not. Now that this with this going on, either if they don't let him go to the Jets, he's not going back and playing for the Packers.
I mean, that's fine. He can just sit his ass on the bench and go into retirement. If I'm Green Bay,
but then Green Bay don't get nothing for him either.
Rounders. And if he wants to go sit on the bench, he can go sit on the bench.
But yeah, I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get 1 first-rounder. I think it's going to be some second-round.
Boy, if they don't, man, if that's the way it goes, I'm telling you, Green Bay lost that. Green Bay lost in that trade. They lost big time in that trade. The only pro to that trade for them would be the fact that they dumped some of that salary cap. That's the only pro that's going to come out of it.
Yep.
So
it's going to be interesting, but yeah, Rodgers said that since last Friday, he made it clear to the Packers and the Jets that he wanted to play and he wanted to play for the Jets.
Look, Gonzo, every night I make it clear to my wife, I'm going to give her sex.
Oh,
every night she goes to the notion of knowing that I had some whiskey dick, and that ain't going to happen. I'm just saying, hey, I said that to say this. They can say all they want, blase, but I think we all know that until the ink is dry or until things have come to fruition, things can always go left. They can always go left. I'm telling you.
I got a question for both of you guys. And you've just seen a little bit of this guy. I think he's been there 1 year, maybe 2 at the most. I'm not really sure. Do you guys think Fields is the real deal at Chicago, or do you think he's a bust?
For me, it's too early. Guys, is it okay if I run with this for a second? I'll be short-winded. I'm not going to be long-winded. I think Fields, if you look at him from a playmaking standpoint, phenomenal. Not going to be a bust. Phenomenal. Where I want to see Fields and where I want to determine if Fields is a bust or not is when he's given time in the pocket, how does he make his throws? If he's able to put his throws where they need to be with good confidence, good touch, good timing, if he can read the defenses and make the right audibles, if he can do all those little nuances, then I'll say he's not a bust. But until you can get Fields enough time in the pocket, enough adequate time in the pocket to go through his reads, to put the ball where it needs to be, to do all those things. There's no way of knowing right now if he's going to be a buster or not. Right now, he's just a really good running back that can make plays on the ground. But we still have yet to be able to see what he can do through the air, and we're not going to see that until they give him the amount of protection that he needs to be able to go through his individual reads and make the right throw.
What does your gut tell you?
My gut tells me that, he obviously made the throws at Ohio. So, again, I know the professional level is going to be different. My gut tells me he'll be okay. If the way my wife would word it, if I had to word it properly, is I would say I'm cautiously optimistic. That's the best way to say it. Cautiously optimistic.
What do you think, Chris?
I mean, I don't know how if there's any other way you can look at that, given the sample size that we've seen. I don't even know what that is. What is Blue Chew?
It's supposed to be something to help you get it up.
Oh, I got plenty of that from the VA. We're good.
But no,
I'm just waiting the hour. I took it about 20 minutes into this program. You didn't notice that, but I took it. So I just got to wait an hour, and then I'm gonna give her the show.
Give it a show.
I'm gonna go in there swinging like Aaron Judge for that low ball.
I kind of agree with Jay on Justin Fields. I think he's shown flashes. I just think he has to be more consistent. I think them getting some better weapons around him should help, and they fix that offensive line. I think this season here is the season he has to show that he's made progression. But that's the good thing about what the Bears have done. When they made that trade, getting that number one pick for next year as well. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Gonzo, but didn't they bring in an offensive lineman in free agency? The Bears. I forgot who it was, but I believe they brought in an offensive lineman.
I think they did. I think they brought in. Of course, they got DJ Moore in that trade. But what was more important to me with that trade, you got that first round pick. You're going to have your first round pick. So say you put these weapons around Fields, you fix the offensive line, and this year Fields don't show that progression. What's the worst thing that could happen? You could be in you could be in that market for a Williams or a May or somebody like that, and you have draft capital to move up if you need to.
I know that Mike Hughes will tell you that, losing a guy like, Montgomery is not a big deal, that he thinks that Herbert can carry the load. I'm not one of those guys. I don't like Chicago's running game right now. Outside of the quarterback himself running the ball, I don't like their running game. I don't know how you guys feel about their running game.
Hey, you didn't see who they picked up as a backup?
I guess I have not. Maybe I missed that in the trade pickups. Who'd they get?
I believe they got Foreman from Carolina.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn it.
That's a good pickup.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. They got Deontay Foreman from Carolina.
That's a good pickup.
That's a huge win. I retract my statement. Okay, I forgot. You're right. They did bring in Deontay Foreman. I do remember seeing that when Mike Hughes
brought in Robert Tunyon at tight end.
Yeah. What do you guys consider a good season for the Bears next
year? By the way, I thought the Tunyon addition at tight end was a good. Tunyon is a big target in that end zone, and he's perfect to go along with Kmet. But I'm sorry, Tony, what were you saying?
What do you guys consider a good season for the Bears next year? I mean, what would
I think? With the team that they got, I think they go above 500. I think they go above 500, and I think a possible wild card.
Green Bay should be down. Detroit should be up. You still have Minnesota. You think they can get it past both those teams, Minnesota and Detroit?
Well, with Minnesota, and that's the thing. Okay, and here's the deal. This is why I'm so on the edge when I say that Chicago could get a wild card, because you got to remember, man, Minnesota brought in Brian Flores. I think he's a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a developing person. He knows how to develop talent. He's great on the defensive side of the ball, on that defensive coordinator scheme to go along with their head coach. And so I think that Minnesota is going to be defensively scary next season. And we got to remember, that was Minnesota's weakness. That was what Minnesota lacked from going deeper into the playoffs, was their defense. Their defense was horrendous. And I think now they got Brian Flores in there. I think he could. Well, I don't think he could. I think he will transform that defense. It's just a matter of how long is it going to take him to do it. Hopefully, he gets it done quick. But having Brian Flores backing up that defense, I got to be honest with you. I think the way it's going to fall is I think Detroit wins the division, and I think Chicago and Minnesota will battle it out for second and third place. That's the way I see it.
I'm going to say, how many wins they have last year? 3?
I think so.
I'm going to say 8 wins.
I was going to say 8 or 9. I think they're going to be
right around that 500.
I think they're going to be right around the 500 mark.
Maybe a game over, maybe a game under. Yeah.
It really just depends on what Chicago does in the draft and how much they improve the team in the draft.
It depends on how it all comes together too, because you can look great on paper, and we've seen teams always thought, "Oh man, look all that talent they have," but then they get
well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, of course, absolutely. And don't forget, they got a shit ton of cap money. I see them making some moves in the summertime and during the regular season. I see Chicago being active. So
we get hit a shot on this possession.
Damn, Arizona is up by 3 over TCU right now, 67-64 with 2:12 left in the game. Damn, man. Is Arizona going to shock TCU? Holy shit.
Hey, you see a lot of them like 11-6 and 12-5s that the 11s and 12s win.
Well, you're right. You're right. You're right. I just really wonder though, Gonzo. I wish I could be in the fly on the wall in the Carolina war room. I mean, I know they're hyped up on CJ Stroud, but nothing's to say that they don't pull a wild card and go with Bryce Young. I'm just really curious to see who actually snaps that number 1 spot and leaves the number 2 into Houston.
If I'm Carolina, I'm taking Stroud.
I agree.
And I'm not 100% sold on Stroud, but I'm more sold on Stroud than I am Bryce Young.
Hey, man, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
And then you think the Texans go with?
I think the Texans go with Young at number 2.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think Texans are either getting Stroud or Young, depending on what Carolina does with the 1 pick. I mean, honestly, I think that Houston wants Young, though. I don't see them really with Stroud. I see them really more on the Bryce Young bandwagon of things.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm ready for the draft just because it's gonna be interesting what happens in the first 5-6 picks.
Is there any?
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely. All the draft capital the Bears got. Is there anything up there at the 3rd, 4th, 5th pick that the Bears would maybe want to come back up to get?
I don't think so.
Because
they have the 9 pick, and I think at 9 they could have a chance to get
that kid from Northwestern, that offensive lineman.
Him or maybe what's his name? That Carter, because of
Jalen Carter.
Because he's
I kind of was thinking that Arizona might take Jalen Carter at the 3 spot though. Still.
I'm just saying, just because he might drop a little bit because of all the stuff that's going on, he might be there at 9 for the Bears. But I think if I'm Arizona, I'm taking him at 3. But you know what I'm saying, with the legal stuff going on and all that, he might drop some. And then they said they came into his pro day overweight, a little bit out of shape, gained like
9 pounds overweight. They said he could not finish his drills because he was breathing heavy and cramping.
So I mean that's
not a good.
That's not a good look.
No, it's not a good look at all.
Especially after just 2 weeks before that, you were at the combine and had to leave to go because there was a warrant for your arrest, and then go to jail and then come back. and then you come back 2 weeks later and you don't even put in the work to make sure you're in shape and ready. That's a bad look, and that's why I think he might drop some. But he's so talented, I don't think he's going to drop more than probably out of the top 10, maybe 15 at the most. Because you know how it is. All these teams care about is your talent. They all think they can.
I don't think he drops out of 9. If Arizona doesn't draft him, then Chicago will.
Oh yeah, I think if he's there at 9, the Bears take him for sure.
I think the Cardinals are going to be focused on Anderson and Carter, and really doing their due diligence.
The only way I'd see him if he's there at 9, I can see the Bears maybe taking that top offensive lineman instead. Maybe.
Oh, Bronski?
Yeah. I can see him maybe taking him at 9 over Carter just because they need offensive line.
But if they were going to do that, why not just trade back and get him at 7 or 8?
If he's available, he might go at 4.
I don't think he does.
I'm telling you, Colts might take an offensive lineman. We took.
No, you're not.
We took Quilton Nelson
You're
at
not.
5. We took Nelson at 5.
Hey, what's the over and under on that?
I don't know.
I know. Let's figure out the over and under so you can put that bet down.
I wouldn't be shocked if they move back.
I wouldn't either. What kind of shot was that?
They really need offensive linemen. I mean, honestly, if you look at Bears' number 1 needs or what the Bears' priority is, their priority is that offensive line. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. Your priority is the offensive line. Everything else at this point is secondary. If you don't put up an offensive line, you're not going to move the damn rock. No way, no how. So that's why I say I think they move back. I think they try to pick up an extra draft pick out of it. And I think they get their offensive linemen. There'll be plenty of offense. You got Paris Johnson. You got, and then, of course, you got Skronsky. There's 4 or 5 really good offensive linemen that will be there, when they're drafting, if they slide down to, somewhere else, honestly.
Yeah. I understand that we say there's a bunch of good offensive linemen, but for there being so many good offensive linemen every year in the draft, we don't have enough offensive linemen in the league.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they just get hurt. Offensive linemen are just getting hurt a lot.
And they don't have long careers.
Hey, Jay, would you be shocked that if the Colts don't take a quarterback at the 4th pick?
Yeah.
I won't be.
If the Colts don't take Levis or Richardson at the 4, I would be shocked.
So I kind of think they're going to move back and take I think they're going to take a quarterback in the 2nd round.
But if they do move back, if they do move back to take an offensive lineman, I'm not going to be mad at them because, in all honesty, I think they need to move back. Like I said, they're the Colts got the same issue. Not as bad as Chicago, but they still got an issue with their offensive line too that they need to address.
Oh, our offensive line was worse than Chicago's last year.
I mean, I'm just trying to say neither one of them are really good. So I think you move back maybe a little bit, grab an offensive lineman, try to get another draft pick to pick up maybe even a 2nd offensive lineman if you can.
Our offensive line was our main issue last year.
Well, see, my thing is if
and not having a wide receiver 1, obviously. Yeah, I think that was. Yeah, I think you guys not really having a. I never really heard your tight end at all. Who's your tight end over there?
Well, last year they thought it was going to be Mo Alley Cox. He didn't, because the year before he had a big year, but he didn't play good. And, we had a rookie play who actually played pretty good, Woods. And then we have another rookie that they were real high on, but he got hurt in preseason. Ogletree.
Because you really, man, look, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what makes it so mad with Dallas not re-signing Schultz. A tight end can really stretch the field for you for a quarterback. They can open up the linebackers.
Oh, that
and
rookie,
other things. You know what I'm saying?
Last year, that Woods, he's like 6'6",
6'7".
6'7".
Oh, that's a big boy.
He's a good. I think he's going to be a real good tight end. I really do.
Good, real good around the end
He's
zone.
real good in the red zone. He scored. Hell, his first 3 catches in the NFL were touchdowns.
Nice.
So he was a rookie. I look for him to have a big year.
We also got Granson too. It's not
Yeah,
too bad.
and Granson played pretty good for us last year. But yeah, our offensive line.
I think your 3 biggest needs would be offensive lineman, wide receiver, and then help on your defense.
Fuck around them.
Yeah, our defense is not real bad. I mean, you can always use help on your defense. Of course, the quarterback position too. I mean, of course, but
well, we've lost a few guys on defense
We have.
because we lost Gilmore and then we lost Okereke.
Well,
but we should.
I'll tell you the 3 priorities because you guys. I mean, you got Gardner Minshew, so I guess to your notion, if you want to be competitive, you can go for a quarterback if you believe in it. Otherwise, you just ride Gardner Minshew for, you'll probably get Gardner Minshew for 3 or 4 years. So you can figure out another quarterback along the way. That wouldn't be a big thing for you.
We signed Minshew right now just to a 1-year deal, so that gives us options as well.
Hey, look, worst case scenario, you just go over there to Baltimore, throw down some money at Lamar's feet and see if he jumps on it.
There's been some rumors of that.
Just saying.
You can ask Dad. I actually told him before that. Now this was 2 days ago that I was getting the feeling that the Colts was going to make a move for Lamar, but now that they brought in Minshew, I don't think they're going to, at least not right now, because it wouldn't make no sense to bring in Minshew and then trade away draft picks to get Lamar.
Well, he still would have backup.
Well, yeah, I mean, but hell, you could keep fucking what's his name as a backup.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's done.
No, Ellinger.
Yeah, true. I think Minshew's more of a veteran. I think that you're gonna want a veteran.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but
you only got
$3
million.
Damon asked a question talking about D-Hop and Eckler. Do we see anybody getting traded during the draft? I could absolutely see D-Hop or Eckler, both who have demanded a trade. I can see either one of them getting moved in the draft.
Who do you think would be a perfect fit for Eckler?
Man, I would have said the Saints, but they just brought in Williams. I've said it all along. I'm not a believer in Singletary, so I'd probably go with Buffalo. I know that Tampa needs a running back. Now they let go of what's that dude's name?
Fournette.
You know who I'm talking about. Fournier or not? What the hell? Fournette.
Yeah.
Fournette. Now they let go of Fournette. I think Tampa's out there. Houston's good. Okay, the Rams, but they don't really. But the Rams are trying to go to rebuild mode, so I don't think that would work for them. Maybe the Cardinals.
Yeah,
if you don't believe in Connor, which I don't believe in Connor, to be honest with you, I think Eckler would be a much better suitor, and I would let go of Connor as a post June 1 cut. But
the perfect fit for Buffalo is the running back at Tennessee.
I think Dallas could be a good spot now that we let go of Zeke. I think Dallas could be a good spot, even though I don't think they'll make that happen. But Dallas would be a good spot. Another one would be that dude. What's that one team? Carolina. Who's the running back for Carolina right now? Now that Foreman's not there.
They had another guy, but I can't remember his name.
I mean, Carolina's going to need a running back. I mean, there's definitely a few teams out there that could very well be interested in Eckler. Honestly,
yeah, somebody got Penny. I thought it was a good pickup.
I'll tell you what.
It's not Penny. Who got that dude?
And I thought that was a good pickup.
I don't know what Eckler's contract is, but if I'm the Jets, I check in to see about Eckler. I know you have Breece Hall, but Eckler's not like a 4-down running back, and he's more really a pass catcher out of the backfield than he is just a straight running back. I think that'd be a good combination with him and Breece Hall. Like I said, I don't know if they can make it work salary wise. You know what I mean? But Damian says Eckler to Seattle. I can see maybe that just because Seattle's had a lot of injuries at running back. But I don't know. When I look at Eckler, to me he's more of a pass catching running back. He's not he's not one you're you know what I mean. He's not a 4 down back or 3 or 4 down back.
Penny went to the Eagles. Rashad Penny went to the Eagles.
I think that's a good pickup.
Yeah, because the Eagles let go of Miles. Oh, that's where Miles Sanders went. Miles Sanders went to Carolina. Rashad Penny went to the Eagles. That's what. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So no, Carolina doesn't need a running back. Neither does Philadelphia, unless you. I don't believe in Rashad Penny, to be honest with you. So if I was Philly, I might take a chance on a guy like Austin.
They still got the other guy who played real well in the playoffs too.
Gainwell.
Yeah, Gainwell. You're right. They have Gainwell, but I think you could pair Gainwell up. I don't know if Gainwell's an every down back. I think he's more of a third down back, but I definitely think Rashad Penny's going to be all right. But
TCU held on 72-70.
They pulled it out.
Eckler's not going to Seattle. They got Walker the third over there.
Yeah.
Oh, did TCU get it?
72-70. Last second.
Man,
shot.
they got it at the very end, huh? They squeezed it out.
They got old Gonzaga now.
Sometimes you need those close games to wake your ass up and then go play your real game.
Damn 3 throws.
I know.
What a time to be alive. TCU bringing it in.
But well, let's go ahead and get the final thoughts. What you got, Jay?
Man, I ain't got shit. Y'all done taken all my good stuff, man. Honestly, I still can't believe that Pitt took out Iowa State. I thought for sure Iowa State would be okay in that game. That's crazy to me. No, what do I got? Honestly, again, there's a lot of moves going on right now in the NFL. There's a lot of teams really super duperly improving. There's a lot of divisions that aren't going to be cakewalks anymore. I'll tell you, I think it's AFC East that has the Bills in New England in it. That's not going to be an easy division. That's going to be a really hard competitive division. I think the NFC North is going to continue to be competitive with all the teams coming up out of there. And then some of the ones dropping, right? And then I still think the NFC East is going to be extremely, extremely brutal with the Giants that are going to continue to get better. Washington, now that they got Bieniemy and they're sucking up people right and left, is going to be better. I think Philadelphia will slide back a little bit, but they're still going to put up a winning record. There's just, and then of course you got the AFC South, who you just don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Other than I think Jacksonville comes out of it, and I think Carolina is going to do some damage over there. Or actually, Carolina is actually NFC. I'm sorry. But either way, Carolina and the NFC South, I think damage.
What do you think? Philadelphia over or under 12 wins next year?
Oh,
under
12?
I'm telling you, I'm just telling you, this next year in NFL you're gonna see a lot of divisions rise up and a lot of teams that you don't expect, I think, are gonna rise up. And I don't think it's gonna be a very easy cakewalk for teams like the Chiefs and for teams like the Bengals to get back there. It's going to be a lot tougher road for a lot of these teams to get back there. And then look for the Bills to still continue to try to make moves. But
how do we get on the Bills? Under 12 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, over under. Oh, under. I think Philly comes in right around 11.
I said under as well.
I definitely think 11. I think 11 is a good number for them.
And you can ask Jay the day after the Super Bowl. We were both agreed on about how many players they were going to lose, and they weren't going to look like the same team.
Dallas.
They don't look like the same team. They look completely different.
Dallas
just completely different.
I'm going to say over.
Yeah. No, but the last thing I wanted to say was don't forget tomorrow.
You not even listening to you.
Dallas.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you saying something? Hey, I can't hear you. You got to use that big boy voice.
Dallas over or under 12? I say over.
Oh, Dallas over or under? Oh, God, they're losing. They're probably going to lose Dalton Schultz.
Ooh.
Oh, God, Tony, that's going to be hard, man. It really depends on who they bring in the draft. As the team stands currently constructed,
I'm gonna say under.
I got it coming in at 11. I think they go under. I think they're at
I'm going
11.
over.
I don't think we're over.
I'm going over.
I'm gonna go under. Houston Texans over under 2.
Colts.
Over 2.
Colts over under 7.
7. I'm gonna say over.
Oh no.
I think we get at least 8 wins.
Oh no. I'm going under with the Colts. I actually got the Colts. I got the Colts finishing in third place in that. So yeah, I got unders. I got 7 or under.
Do you have any final thoughts, Deb?
Go IU.
Got 4.5 minutes left. We're up 10.
Like I shot.
Also, before we get out of here, don't forget tomorrow we'll be live at 7 p.m. Eastern from Shelbyville, Indiana for Shamrock Shakedown. Main event is Braden Lee versus Jordan Dye. Braden Lee's been on Impact Wrestling. I think OVW's like AEW Dark. Then you also have Justin Myers and the president, Jeremy Hadley.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
That's going to be a real good one. So join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, at GonzoSportsRoom, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Excuse me. At GonzoSportsRoom and at the All Sports All Plays Network. And follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at GonzoSportsRoom. That's where I post all the stuff about our shows. Got the wrestling show Saturday. We did have a change. Interview with pro wrestler Sage Phillips is going to be on Tuesday, not Wednesday. He messaged me a day. Something came up on Wednesday and he couldn't do it, so he wanted to know if we could do a different day. And then on Thursday we have Jake Elliott, pro wrestler. And then next weekend we got a jam-packed weekend. Friday we'll be live at the Indiana Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. We'll be live streaming their Hall of Fame induction. And then on Saturday we'll be hearing live from Muncie, Indiana for DCCW 5-year anniversary show. And then on Sunday we'll be in Danville, Indiana for Warrior Pro Wrestling. So we got a big weekend next weekend.
Damian said the Texans are going to finish over the Colts.
Hey, you know who's coming for Dutch Boy, don't you?
You coming for Dutch Boy?
Chuckles
the Clown. There he is.
Hey,
you'd be a great tag team partner for Chuckles, man. That'd be you.
Man, listen, I get in there, man. I'll throw this fat body around. We're going to make some noise happen.
We call them the Psycho Clowns.
The Psycho Clowns.
Hey, I think I could fit that motif pretty well. I think I could do a good job with that.
I think so.
Hell yeah.
Frankie could be you guys' manager.
Shit. What's that one dude that passed away? The bear, the Paul Bearer?
Paul Bearer.
Yeah, that's what Frank would be. Frank would be Paul Bearer.
And you know what he looked like with the white skin and the black hair? Before that, he was in Texas, world class. His name was Percy Pringle.
Percy Pringle.
Had bright red hair.
Well, they really redid his character though.
Yeah, they did.
He was good.
Yep.
All right, Jay, you got anything else?
No, man. Hey, other than make sure you check us out on Twitter at Unscripted Guys on Twitter, all one word, and Unscripted Sports on TikTok, all one word. And like I said, check us out tomorrow. We'll be breaking down more of the draft and current events, and that's on Unscripted at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And he really was an Undertaker. He really was a.
They said. I remember them saying like that was his actual job.
Yeah, he was mortuary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, anybody looking at Dyson? I'm a certified pallbearer. What? I got a really good Dyson vacuum. I'll suck all the shit out of you and spit it back in, and then embalming fluid. Yeah, it'd be all right.
Be all right.
Ain't for me.
Listen, Hey, man, I'll put that stuff in the dehydrator and make jerky. It'd be straight.
Oh God, I'm out. I'm out. Hey Frankie, come here. I want you to try this new jerky I just made.
Hey, Frankie, I got some Cornish game hen I want you to try. It's a little gamey.
All right. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We'll be back on Monday with another episode of GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Like I said, join us tomorrow for live pro wrestling, 7 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter at Gonzo Sports Room. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday night.